dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. As we first reported last night at 6, a lawsuit says Kentucky's Republican candidate for Attorney General should be removed from the ballot. Daniel Cameron says Democratic candidate Greg Stumbo is trying to steal the election. And today we talked to the Eastern Kentucky native and former AG about the suit. WYMT's Madison Pergram has more.
It's a heated race for Kentucky Attorney General. Republican candidate Daniel Cameron is running against former Attorney General and Speaker of the House Greg Stumbo. But a new lawsuit filed in the Jefferson County Circuit Court claims the Republican candidate is not qualified to run, arguing Cameron does not have the 8 years of experience as a, quote, practicing attorney required by Kentucky law.
If he's only had a license for 8 years come October, and he, by law, couldn't practice for 2 years, the math's pretty clear. He falls short of the constitutional requirement.
Daniel Cameron's campaign fired back, saying in part, quote, Cameron is more than qualified to serve legally. Remember, this is 2019, not 1819. We will not let an old white career politician cheat a young qualified black attorney out of a fair election, end quote. That statement also referenced a similar case from the 1990s, saying, quote, this type of lawsuit was attempted on a young Democrat, Ben Chandler, when he ran for AG in the mid-90s and was thrown out by a Franklin Circuit judge. It will be thrown out again, end quote. Stumbo says to him, this case is different.
In Chandler's case, there was no prohibition in the law or in the ethical requirements that he not practice law.
In that case, a 1995 court decision favored Democratic candidate Ben Chandler. It is not known when a decision could come in this case. Madison Pergram, WYMT Mountain News.
We did reach out to Cameron's campaign today, and they say their statement yesterday speaks for itself. As of now, the two will face off in the general election on Tuesday, November 5th.
We've been dealing with that mixture of sun and clouds throughout the day, but overall we've seen plenty of sunshine, maybe see a few stray rain chances as we head into the rest of those evening hours. But go ahead and take you to a few of those cameras across the mountains, Interstate 75 into London. There's those clouds slightly increasing, but overall plenty of sunshine and drier conditions. A few more clouds if we're looking into downtown Whitesburg, still seeing plenty of sunshine, 85 degrees, so not as warm as some spots, a little bit cooler I think due to that cloud cover. Dew point of 62, that's making it feel like 85 outside. A little bit of that drier air, but a lot of us into about those upper 80s, lower 90s. You're seeing those lower 80s if we're looking into Jackson and even into Moorhead. 85 Pikeville, 79 looking over into Wise, Virginia, but those 90s you can see down into Williamsburg and even into Jacksboro, Tennessee. And as we look at satellite and radar, there's a few of those clouds and isolated rain chances that have been popping up, and as we're scanning the skies now, seeing a stray rain chance in parts of Harlan County, a little bit over into Virginia as well. So we can hang on to a few of those as we head into the rest of those evening hours, but we'll mostly see those get out of here. We could see a stray rain chance a little bit later, partly cloudy skies, maybe a little bit of that patchy fog late tonight, early into tomorrow. And something Steve has been complaining about all day is the pollen forecast. Really the only thing that we're seeing on that very high level are the weeds right now, and we really need that big rain to come in and clear us out. So will we get that anytime soon? I'll have that and more coming up in just a little bit.
My allergies hope so. Paige, thank you. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office in Arizona says it has busted an illegal marijuana and THC vape cartridge operation in North Phoenix. 23-year-old Tucker Reese and 23-year-old Colby Stevens were arrested. Investigators also said they found more than 1,000 cartridges labeled with the Dank brand, in addition to other illegal drugs. Those cartridges have been found throughout the country and tied to recent vaping deaths. The CDC confirms 6 deaths and 380 cases of lung illnesses in the U.S., possibly tied to vaping. The husband of a woman found dead in Georgia made a court appearance in Florida today. Michael Jones is charged with killing his wife Casey and their 4 children. The 5 victims had not been seen for 6 weeks when they were reported missing. Investigators believe Jones kept the bodies of his wife and kids inside his Florida home before taking the remains to Georgia. The 38-year-old was involved in a crash, and that's when authorities say Casey's body was found. Health outcomes in Appalachia. That was the topic of discussion at the 5th Annual Appalachian Research Day. Come sit on the porch. WYMT's Will Puckett sat in on the sessions and has more on some of the ideas.
The idea comes from a childhood memory.
It's dedicated in the memory of my grandfather that we would come together on the porch. People that have done research would bring their results back to the community, let the community hear about it and put their perspective on it.
Sitting on the porch and having public health professionals share ideas with each other.
A lot of time researchers come in and they want to do their research and then they leave and we never hear from them. We don't really get a chance to create solutions.
Dr. Randy Wyckoff is a dean and professor at East Tennessee State University. He attended the session Wednesday to share his insights into trends across the region he is seeing.
The biggest challenge we face is that our health statistics are so much worse in other parts of the country. But the good news is we know that things like education, economic development, and health access to health care can all make a real difference.
All acknowledge that numbers are frightening in Appalachia, but it is not all bad.
There are a lot of really good aspects that are tied to the people and the culture and the history, and we need to lift that up as well.
Lifting those up and encouraging the people of Eastern Kentucky to continue to work on those numbers.
I worry that when we're only telling stories about problems, that's what people hear, and they're afraid to invest in the Appalachian region. They don't want to locate businesses, they don't want to locate factories, and that's a problem.
A problem organizers hope events like these will help solve. In Perry County, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
Newly appointed Commissioner of Public Health and Paintsville native Dr. Angela Derringer was also there today. The Mountain Association for Community Economic Development, or MACED, partnered with the Women's Business Center of Kentucky and hosted a class here in Hazard today. It was designed to help teach entrepreneurs a handful of different skill sets, from creating a business plan to helping finance it. Each student is hoping to learn how to better equip their future business.
There are not a lot of resources, and so we wanted to come out into various communities to address those questions that people don't necessarily always have easy access to getting answers to.
Williams says there will be a digital marketing class held in Whitesburg on the first 4 Tuesdays of October. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, what does clean coal technology look like? We'll take you to a facility in Wyoming that's working on that.
And some of us still into that moderate drought as we head into the next few days. Will there be any relief in sight? I'll have that and more coming up in just a little bit.
When you